Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is 𝗬𝗏𝗍, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and happy June to all of you listening. It's pretty crazy to me that we are already into the month of June. I feel like this year has just flown by so far, but I am really loving sharing this year with you, sharing this space with you. And of course, all of these readings really are co-creations, and they're only possible because of the energy that you are bringing to this space every time that you tune in. So thank you for being here. And I'm going to start by shuffling the traditional tarot cards. So what can I channel for all of the beautiful people tuned into today's reading video? By the way, I have a little bit of new background music going. Let me know if you like it. I am going to be experimenting with some different meditative background sound options in these videos. But anyway, the first card that we have here is the Knight of Pentacles in the upright position. Whoa, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. And also the 7 of Swords reversed. Wow, okay. Although I feel that might be connected to a different thread of energy, so I might set that to the side for a little bit later. But let's go ahead and dive right in here. So what I'm feeling right away is there is this energy coming towards you that is very consistent, very reliable, very patient, very much a long-term kind of energy. There could be Aries or Taurus energy in someone's birth chart here, or maybe you met this person around Aries or Taurus season. So this could have been the months of March, April, or the beginning of May. But regardless, with the 10 of Cups in the upright position, I'm really feeling a lot of long-term harmony and stability for you, and also some kind of powerful new beginning unfolding. So I have to say right away that I feel as though these messages are going to connect with people in slightly different ways. So for some of you listening, I feel like this is directly related to your love life. So you either recently have met someone, or there's someone coming into your life who has this kind of patient, consistent, reliable energy, someone that you can really build something long-term with. I'm hearing someone who opens you up to a new part of yourself. So I don't know where that came from, but maybe that's specifically resonant for someone. And with the Ace of Cups, I have to say, I feel like even if this message has been romantic for you so far, there's something about your life generally opening into this new beginning, but I'm hearing that it has something to do with you having had the courage to emotionally reconnect with yourself. I'm hearing to let it all crumble, because the sense that I'm getting is that for whoever I'm tuned into here, there was a time where you were building a life from a very different frequency, or more on autopilot, like in a default mode. Maybe in the past, you were building a life based on what society expected from you, or certain other people expected from you. I feel like for some of you, I'm speaking to maybe even a very long time ago in your life, maybe even your upbringing. But I feel like I'm hearing soul restlessness. There was always a restlessness in your soul because you always knew that you were built for more. And there was almost this sense of being trapped in the wrong reality, so to speak, because you knew that something about that reality was artificial, meaning it wasn't really true to your own soul. And I'm hearing that you went through a spiritual awakening that caused that whole reality to completely crumble, which makes sense because something that my guides were bringing up during my meditation today was actually about how prior to a spiritual awakening, we build in a certain direction, usually a default or kind of autopilot direction based on programs that we're running, often very subconsciously. Many of these programs are not necessarily true to our innermost soul, but they are belief systems that we adopt from our parents, from our family's line, from society. And I feel that for the person listening, you always felt restless within those systems when you were building in that direction on default. And so your soul called in this realignment, this spiritual awakening that I feel for many of you happened a while ago. I feel like I could be kind of telling someone's story in a way. Let me know in the comments if this is your story. But I feel as though you went through that awakening and your life began to feel as though it was falling apart, but your soul knew it was falling together. Because when we build in a certain direction, the reason during an awakening, often it looks like our life is crumbling is because in those cases, so much of what we built was actually inauthentic to our soul. It's almost like climbing a ladder, but having the ladder up against the wrong wall, as they say. Maybe for some of you, this was literally a corporate ladder or some kind of system where you were climbing up the ranks or growing in a direction on the surface, but knowing that your soul was destined for more. Now, I am hearing to bless that time of your life because it wasn't wasted. It was a preparation. It was an immersion course in a sense where you fully immersed in some kind of belief system, maybe a limiting belief system or the old way of doing things so that you could show others a new path. And I'm hearing this as part of why your path lately, it's like this feeling that things are beginning to open up, but almost like in a delayed fashion. Like, why couldn't this have happened earlier or sooner? But this is actually all by design because your path involved a period of time where you would immerse in something that would feel very contradictory to your soul. Maybe it was a system, a belief system, a family system, an environment. And through all of that, you would become almost like an expert in that space, so that once you went through your spiritual awakening, which you've now gone through, you could show others a path to freedom out of those same limiting systems that you were once immersed in. And that's the direction I feel you moving in now. And I'm hearing that this era of your life is meant to be peaceful and harmonious and beautiful. For some of you, there may be this lingering feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop, or things are starting to move in a positive direction, but it's hard to shake this anxiety or anxieties that may come up from time to time. And what I'm getting is that if you've had these feelings of anxiety, this isn't so much being sourced from you personally. This is actually something that you are carrying from your ancestors, and that when you wake up and show up with courage for this life that you're creating, this soul-aligned direction that you are building in, this isn't just something you're doing for yourself. You are literally breaking free from ancestral patterns. You are setting a new tone for future generations to come, both in your family's line, but also collectively as well. And this is not an easy path, but I'm hearing it's the path that your soul was made for. And you've known that deep within yourself, even through those hardest moments. You've had this feeling that this is what I signed up for on a soul level, because I incarnated here with a strong sense of purpose. And that's why my soul always felt a restlessness in the familiar, because I'm not here to settle, I'm here to elevate. That's what I feel your soul doing. And the most beautiful thing is, that's what you've been doing for quite some time now. I feel like there's an element here of allowing yourself to integrate the knowing that you're already doing it. You're already building in that direction. You're already inspiring more people than you realize, or may even have the ability to be aware of, because some of that inspiration is rippling through the quantum realm, through the invisible realm, so to speak. So whether this is specifically applying for you romantically or in other areas of your life, or maybe both, I feel that this era is reserved for you. I see a chair like with your, like a little reserve sign on the table, and it's like there's a seat reserved for you at a table that you've been desiring, that you've been manifesting, and you've now arrived. I'm hearing you can release safely that feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I just heard a motorcycle go by. Maybe a motorcycle is significant for someone, or maybe this is about your life revving up like an engine in the most beautiful way and really starting to take off. And I feel what's being asked of you during this phase is trust. It's interesting because a line that came through is, well, really it was the word witnessing, that yes, you are the one taking those courageous steps forward, but you're also witnessing this unfolding phase of your life, almost like a third-party observer, where there's like a part of you seeing all of this being orchestrated for you, all of this unfolding for you. A part of this journey, a very large part for you at this point, is simply trusting the momentum that you've already created to get you here, and trusting that it's going to continue carrying you. Because what I was strongly picking up on today was someone in the collective feeling as though I've always had these huge dreams or goals, or maybe it's something specific that you've wanted to do or accomplish, but there's this feeling beneath the surface, almost like static, that is a feeling of anxiety, or a feeling of what if I can't handle this, or what if I'm not good enough. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who has always had a lot of sensitivities. Maybe you've even struggled with certain anxieties or negative mental patterns, or whatever the case is for you. I'm hearing limiting factors, or things that you would consciously label as limiting factors. And you've wondered, why do I have this dream or this vision? Why does this feel so right for me, so aligned for me, while at the same time, I don't feel like the kind of person who can sustain something like this or achieve something like this. Maybe it's something financially or business-wise or whatever the case is. But the message that I'm getting so strongly is, it's not in spite of these traits about yourself that you're going to succeed. It's actually because of them. Because you aren't meant to be achieving this goal or dream in the conventional way that tells you it has to look a certain way, or you have to be a certain way, or a certain kind of person. You are merging the spiritual with the material here. You are accomplishing things that are going to be very material, that are going to be very visible, but you're merging it with the spiritual. And I actually feel that many of those traits you may have labeled about yourself, or had labeled by other people as limiting factors, were actually just traits that naturally accompany someone who is so spiritually attuned and connected. And you are bringing a spiritual attunement, a spiritual sensitivity to a space that hasn't attracted many people like that, or where that kind of energy hasn't been able to really show up in a full-blown way. And in doing so, you are pioneering something, pioneering a space, an industry, a niche, a career, whatever this is for you. And that's why so much of this path has felt so difficult at times. It's not because anything is going wrong or because you're on the wrong path. It's because you are the one cutting out the path through the forest. You're not following a well-trodden trail. You are creating new pathways that, yes, other people are going to be able to follow as well. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle here. I actually want to dive into this Seven of Swords reverse, because this is about truth coming to light. And I have to say, sorry, I'm picking up one of the cards. I have to say that a major collective theme I've been picking up on lately? Is this truth coming to light? It's this element of exposure. And when I say exposure, I don't necessarily mean negative exposure. I mean exposure of the heart. What's in the heart coming to the surface. And what I'm seeing so strongly is that others' hearts are being revealed, and so is yours. Your heart is being revealed. There are people who judged you in the past or who misunderstood you, who are now seeing you in an entirely new light, who are seeing you for your generosity or for your kindness or for the way that you desire to help or support or uplift others, for the purity of your intentions. But equally, I'm hearing nothing hidden within the hearts of others can remain hidden. So I'm feeling that there are individuals who can't contain their unprocessed shadow anymore, who can't contain the darkness that they've been refusing to face. And when I say darkness, I simply just mean unconsciousness. So I feel that those who have been living in a state of deep unconsciousness, kind of refusing to see themselves clearly, refusing to take accountability and address their shadows, they are potentially struggling right now and having moments of being fully confronted with that shadow in a full-blown way that they can't hold back or conceal anymore. So you may actually notice this leading to certain conflicts or arguments or strange behavior from certain people around you, acting out in certain ways. But I'm hearing they're not acting out of the blue. They're acting out what's been going on internally that they haven't necessarily been processing or facing. I'm also getting that within yourself, if you felt things surfacing that feel really heavy, that feel out of the blue, know that this is part of this purification process energetically, so to speak, where things are being brought to light within you, even brought into the light of your consciousness, so that you can process them, so that you can feel them and release them. I was also getting a lot of messages today, and I may do an entirely separate video about this, but it was about your shadow work or healing from trauma or from negative events of your past or negative emotional patterns. And it was about how your healing is happening naturally as you expand energetically. It's not something that you have to force. You are focusing on growing and expanding and evolving. And this isn't a form of bypassing, because in that process of expansion, anything that is holding you back from expanding that next step further will naturally rise to the surface once your energy has grown enough to be able to hold it, heal it, and release it. And so whenever something needs to meet your attention, it will rise within you naturally. And I feel a major message coming up here is not to need to force anything in your life, whether it's forcing your growth, forcing your healing, forcing movement forward in something in your life. Because a message coming up is that when you simply keep moving that next step forward, whatever that looks like for you, and allowing what needs to come up to come to the surface and processing it as it does come to the surface, that is actually leading you forward in the most harmonious way. I've also been picking up a lot of messages about how in doing this kind of energy shifting work, for lack of a better term, you are healing past and future timelines. Well, I should say you're healing past timelines and you're merging with the highest vibrational potential available future timelines. So essentially, when you process and release whatever is coming up for you, what you're doing is connecting with the past version of yourself that maybe at the time couldn't or didn't have the resources to be able to heal in that way. And so it's like you're healing a past version of yourself. I'm hearing pulling them out of a vibrational loop, while at the same time freeing yourself to higher levels of vibration that then allow you to naturally connect with higher vibrational potential timelines as you walk into the future. But with this card, the Seven of Swords reversed, this has been coming up a lot, not just in this reading, but a lot of recent readings, because it has many different aspects, many different layers. It's not just about what's coming to light within you, how other people are behaving, but I have to say this is also going to trigger some confessions towards you, truth coming to light where people are literally speaking their truth to you or initiating conversations where they open up about a truth. And in many cases, this truth that comes forward is going to confirm something that your intuition was already sensing. So for many of you, I am picking up that this Seven of Swords reversed energy could bring forth confessions of love from people from your past. This could be one person. For some of you, maybe it's multiple people, but I'm getting that for many of you listening, there's at least one person from your past who has been secretly harboring deeply romantic feelings for you, but almost trying to deny them. And the thing about this energy, I'm getting chills as I say this, the thing about this Seven of Swords reversed energy that is so potent and powerful right now is that anything we are in denial about is being pushed to the surface. And yes, this goes for us personally. So if we've individually been in denial about something, we're not going to be able to be in that denial. It's going to force its way to the surface and ask us to look at it and to heal it and to process it. And I see many of you beautifully doing that processing work, which, by the way, if you're doing that, you may have a part of your mind thinking, why is all of this coming up now? Am I doing something wrong? This feels kind of heavy to have to process and work through. I thought I came so far. Why is this happening now? Know that this is happening at the perfectly aligned time. This is also the most productive work that you could be doing to move yourself forward towards whatever goals matter to you personally. This is not time wasted when you are addressing these energetic wounds as they come up, being present with them, shifting them, alchemizing them into art, whatever you're doing with them. But the thing about this energy is it's refusing to allow anyone to deny anything, in essence, that they've been harboring, that they've been feeling. And it's pushing all of that to the surface and creating tower moments in the process, because we do have the tower card. And I just saw the number 222 on the recording timer. So what I see is, for someone listening, there are certain people who maybe, okay, I'm getting a thread of energy, so I'm going to read into it like it's one person, but this could be multiple different people from your past for you. And of course, because I channeled into many different threads of energy during these readings, only take what resonates for you personally. But with the High Priestess reversed and the Tower, there is someone connected to you who's been harboring feelings of love or affection, but trying to ignore their own intuition, or trying to ignore how you've been spiritually affecting them. This is someone who's been trying to keep their feelings for you a secret because, and even almost a secret from themselves, like they themselves have been trying to hide from this truth within them. But with the Tower card, it's because they've been trying to avoid some kind of chaos that they know is inevitably going to happen if they were to fully face these feelings. Now, I don't know what this chaos looks like for you, or for, I should say, this person. It's going to be different from one person to the next. But for some of them, maybe it's that if they accept and no longer deny the romantic feelings they're harboring for you, they may have to disrupt something in their life. They may have to end a relationship or move or walk away from something, or I'm hearing change their ways for some of them. And that's creating a lot of potential chaos. Well, it's interesting I said that because I was saying they were trying to hold back, but now it shifted to present tense, like it's already creating chaos. Because like I said, now those feelings are coming to the surface within them in an undeniable way. And now that they themselves are realizing those feelings consciously, they can no longer hide from themselves. Naturally, I see some kind of confession coming forward inevitably towards you from this person. But right now, it's like they're in the middle of that tower. Ironically, the thing they're ignoring their intuition about is something that they actually feel really strongly about. That's such a dream come true for them with the 9 of Cups, which again, I feel if this is romantic, this would represent you being like that 9 of Cups for them, you fulfilling everything that they've ever wanted. Now, if these energies are not connecting for you in terms of an external physical person or romantic person, I could be speaking to you internally and like some part of you internally becoming clear. Like maybe it's something that you've dreamt about doing or something that is really important to you, but that you've been putting on a back burner, or almost like I'm hearing trying to deny a part of yourself expression. And this part of you actually speaks to this grander dream or vision. And I'm seeing that maybe you've been avoiding this part of yourself because just like with this person accepting their feelings, to accept that this is part of your dream or vision would create some kind of disruption in your life, or maybe create conflict or chaos with certain current systems or a job in your life or the people around you. But I see that this knowing is being pushed to the surface in such a strong way. And if that is speaking to you specifically, know that you are the Queen of Wands here. I'm hearing that as you continue to lean into this knowing, I'm hearing your truth is magnetic. You connecting with your inner truth confidently, fearlessly, makes you so magnetic. It's interesting because what I wrote in my journal today when I was meditating is, it's the path that scares you, but also gives you chills. Like there's something here that in a way kind of scares you because of how it stretches you, but it also feels so spiritually aligned with you and almost just custom made for you on a soul level that it literally evokes this like visceral reaction of resonance with that dream or with that idea. Now, of course, if this is an external person, they're seeing you as the Queen of Wands. So someone who's very confident, attractive, magnetic, and they may see themselves as the Page of Wands, just getting started, feeling like a very new or maybe like a small energy, not sure really what they have to offer you here, and maybe feeling hopeful but a little bit insecure about that as they consider coming towards you with this confession. For some of you applying this to yourself internally, maybe it's that you have this sense of yourself becoming this Queen of Wands. You know that as you connect with your inner truth and move towards creating this dream, you know on some level that you are going to be embodying that Queen of Wands energy, but there's a part of you on the conscious level still feeling like you're just taking the first step or early steps of a very big journey. And that can lead to some feelings of uncertainty here, again, with that Page of Wands. But I really see, if that is for you, that the best way I can describe it is that as you keep moving in that direction, you're naturally going to evolve from that Page of Wands to the Queen of Wands. And I'm seeing very quickly, but it's more than that. It's almost like you already are that Queen of Wands within yourself. It's not so much that you're like transforming into that. On some level, you know that you already are that. It's a slow peeling back of the layers of almost like projections from other people, or a lack of faith in yourself from the past that caused you to forget that you already are that you already are capable of this, that you already are that person. That's the best way I can put it into words. But I do see that whatever this direction is that you are personally considering moving in, or maybe it's with this external person, it feels like it has a lot of longevity to it. It feels like something that's actually, I'm hearing, very solid and stable to invest in for the long term, because it's coming from the heart here. Can I get any more information on this energy? Yeah, with the Ten of Wands reversed, I really feel as though someone is trying to get something off their chest here, something that's really been weighing on them. And I'm going to reshuffle all of the cards because I'm not sure if this is the same person or a new thread of energy. I just saw the number 2929. So I'm going to be looking up that number as well. And let's do some reshuffling here. So I am really curious what I can channel through about this person or energy. Maybe for some of you, if this applies internally, there's some burden you've been carrying that is going to be lifted from you in almost like a divine fashion. If there's been something weighing on you or something that's become very heavy or overwhelming, I feel like the divine here is stepping in to almost like lift that burden from your shoulders here. I'm getting that very strongly. But with the number 2929, this can symbolize, well, 2 can be balance, partnership, intuition, trust, alignment. 9 can be endings, soul purpose, higher wisdom, letting go of the old to make space for your highest path. Wow, that's exactly what I feel like is happening here. Like if you felt anxieties coming up, heavy emotions, I almost feel like these are all just echoes. This is residual energy from a past timeline, or maybe even from your ancestors, a kind of lack mentality that I'm getting was almost like deeply subconscious and somatic, like imprinted in your energy, your aura, your nervous system, that you are releasing so that you can fully align with this dream timeline that you've envisioned for yourself, that you've literally called in with the 9 of Cups here. Yeah, and you're going to succeed and overcome this. This isn't even a setback. It's almost like a last piece of preparation before you catapult into your dream timeline. That's what I'm getting here so strongly. And that really feels like a beautiful pausing point for this reading. I am going to continue this into the extended version. So if this has been connecting and you want to go deeper into the messages, you can continue on with me to either Patreon or the YouTube memberships. You can listen from either place. And I will leave links to both extended readings in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and close this reading here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And for some reason, I really just feel the need to say, I am so proud of you. So maybe that's something that you've been longing to hear, or something that your guides want you to know, that you should be so proud of yourself, to take a moment and just affirm to yourself how far you've come, because the message that keeps coming through is the momentum that carried you here is going to carry you the rest of the way. Have a beautiful remainder of your day. I love you all so much, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's reading.